Uh, am I doing the recording or are you?
It's already recorded.
It's on now.
We're live.
All right. Hey, welcome. Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Glad you could join us. Make sure you reach down and subscribe down below, and subscribe to our station, and to and it's on Rumble, and we're also on YouTube. Hey, welcome to the show. I'm Free Ride, along with our very special friend Sideshow, and also Guido and myself, Free Ride. How y'all doing out there? Glad you guys could join us. Hope you enjoy the program.
This
All right.
special-
Well, Showcase is eating a marijuana cookie. He made marijuana cookies, dude. He got the recipe. He made his own butter, and
Nice.
it's quite a challenge, isn't it? There, Showcase. Huh?
Oh,
Yeah, oh yeah. You want to see the butter?
do we want to see the butter? Sure. Let's see the butter because that's news.
That's important.
The butter. I just buy some
Butter.
fucking
That's
blue bonnet and stick it in there. Stick some fucking buds in there.
there. It is, right there.
There it is.
There it is. There's the butter.
Put some on your toast.
But yeah, you put it on your toast, and you are set for the day.
Yeah, I don't like edibles that much because I'll eat them, be like, this ain't doing shit, and then I'll eat another one, and I'll be like, what the fuck, and then I'll eat another one, and then I can't move.
Yeah. You gotta be careful.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
so
gotta be careful. So anyway, what would happen? Would you guys think if we shot a nuke at the moon? If we shot several nukes at the moon, and they all got there on the 4th of July? Boom, 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 boom.
you can't because they can't leave the atmosphere.
Why would we do that, though?
Yeah, but it'd be cool, man.
Why
It'd be
would
a
we
cool
do that?
show.
It'd be cool, but it can't happen. It's scientifically impossible.
There's no purpose to it. What do we know? Nothing's going to happen.
And
Really?
and say they do
Hey,
send nukes to the moon and bam, bam, bam. What did that prove?
You think it would explode into flames because there's no oxygen up there? It probably wouldn't.
I
I don't know. When you split an atom, it's pretty hot. So even if you're in space, there would be some kind of an explosion. But again, what would that prove? I mean, what does that mean? What is it? Why
Well,
would we do something like that?
Well, it would get rid of the nukes here on Earth for one, and then it would cut down on. It might do something great. It might even start a new planet. Who knows?
who's gonna freely get rid of their nukes?
Nobody.
I will. I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
I will.
No mega power country is gonna surrender their nukes ever.
I will. I will. I'll do that.
Yeah. The only nuke you can get is if you microwave some pizza.
Yeah, well, that's true.
When you use the microwave, do you cover your balls?
No, I want them
No.
to shrink.
But I stand away from the microwave when I cook, and I don't come back till the 4 beeps are finished.
You know what they say is microwave is dangerous. Like if something broke and that microwave energy was coming out, it can harm you. Well, that's the same shit worse that they do for chemo and shit, like for cancer patients and shit.
Oh,
Right? Yeah, and that's horrible. You think about that. The microwave could kill you. What the fuck is that doing to you? You know?
People aren't worried about it killing you. If you have a pacemaker, you're not supposed to be near a microwave.
Well,
That's
a
something with
microwave.
the magnetics in it or something.
Yeah.
A microwave is only good for heating water. All the rest, it kind of makes bread kind of rubbery. You know,
Well,
you
you
ever
gotta-
cook a hot dog? You ever cook a hot dog in a microwave? It's kind of rubbery. It turns
Yeah.
everything to rubber.
Well, no,
and-
I don't use my microwave to cook. I use it to reheat. So if I cook the hot dog the night before, then I'll throw in the microwave the next day.
Yeah.
It still turns it into rubber.
It may turn it a little, but I only really use my microwave for popcorn.
And you always put water on your leftovers. Just put a little dabble of water over your leftovers, and it heats it up just fine. And make sure you cover your dish. You cover your dish, it comes out much better. And you put a little water on it, the steam, it steam heats the food. And then you always let it stand for a full minute before you take it out of the microwave. That way the entire meal heated.
Not my microwave.
Properly. So anyway, what we thought we would do is we would split. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got rid of a huge fly. It was in here sucking air. So.
Okay. Well, so what we were going to do is we're going to split the show into sequences where each of us have a topic to bring up.
Well, mine was Nuke the Moon.
Oh, that was yours, Nuke the Moon. Well, yeah, we're gonna spend 15 minutes on Nuke the Moon.
Yeah. Shoot.
We're not gonna get into this conversation. It's not gonna happen.
It'd be cool.
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't do anything. You wouldn't even be able to see it. People think that you can see that shit. You can't even see it. You can't.
You know why you can't see it?
Because it ain't there.
Right. Exactly. Can't get there.
Well, I don't know about all that. No,
we're not going to get on that conversation. God damn it.
I didn't bring it up.
I don't know about all that.
I did not bring it up.
God damn it.
We ought to nuke the moon. I think we ought to nuke the moon and see what happens.
We ought to nuke that fucking, see, my topic tonight
is,
we're going to get off of that subject. My topic tonight is the food shortage, the fuel shortage, and the formula shortage and all that shit. They are stockpiling that stuff. They're stockpiling the fuel. They're stockpiling the food. They're stockpiling the fucking baby formula because there's something coming.
Well, I might agree with you on the fuel, but I don't think so on everything because we have a local plant here that makes condiments, and it's really only a northern company. It's up here in Buffalo and the surrounding areas. They sent out a newsletter saying that they can't get lids or jars right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So they can make their mustard, but they got nothing to put it in.
Right.
Because of the supply chain issues. Okay. So the fuel is really what drove most of this, I believe. Okay.
I believe that too.
$6 for a gallon of diesel gas. Okay. Now we're not sending 14 semis out anymore. We're sending 7 out and doubling them loads. Okay. Right. And now it's $7 a gallon. Now we're going to take those 7 loads and make it 4 loads on 4 trucks. I mean, that's just how it works. You can't, in capitalism, if you're not making the money you were, you can't do the work you.
That's true. That's true.
They jack up the price on the mustard and hand it to the fucking consumer.
But that's not what people. That's not what you're understanding, though. Okay, they were getting that jar to make your mustard for maybe 12 cents a jar. Okay, so now they're getting that jar for $1 a jar. Why shouldn't they raise the price?
That's right.
Why shouldn't they raise the price? They were paying 13 cents before. Now they're paying $1.
Right.
That's right. You got to make up for that. We do.
It's not right, but that's what I'm saying. It's not the companies. Some of the companies, yes, I'm not an idiot. Some companies are gouging on purpose. Some companies are taking advantage of this.
No, but it's a full-on trend, Guido. It's not an individual company that's doing this. It's a full-on trend where a vast number of companies can't get the supplies they need to ship their product.
But like this company is a mid-range company, okay?
Right.
It's not Hunt's or
it's not
Ketchup.
Yeah,
it's not
Hellman's.
Okay. Yeah. So this could put this 150-year-old business that's been in upstate New York right out of business.
Because they can't fucking get the shit they need. Because all the shit that they need to transport their ketchup and their mustard and all that shit is going to the bigger companies. Heinz.
Right.
It's going to give me a Kraft. They're going to Kraft.
The $1 a can.
Speaking of Kraft, I used to get a slice of cheese, the individual wrapped sliced American cheese.
Yeah.
Now you open it and it's so thin you can almost see through it, and it's got. I've never seen it so thin in my life.
That's a real thing. It's called shrinkflation. Now, what happens is companies like, say, and you don't even notice it at first. Domino Sugar will be like, "Oh my God, we can't. Sugar costs so much. We're gonna take this 5-pound bag, lower it to a 4-pound bag, and charge the same as a 5-pound bag." That's what they do.
I got the Kraft cheese right in here. I can show you. You'll see air bubbles in it and shit.
Yeah,
It just there's no. It's not thick like it used to be. Remember?
A ding dong, a friggin' ding dong used to be this big. Now they're this big.
Yeah,
they're real small.
Well, let's now that we're into this of how this happens, shrinkflation. It's not all because of inflation. It's also because of a lot of factors. Back in the 50s or 60s, when those ding dongs were fat motherfuckers, people weren't making $16 an hour and getting their insurance paid for. Okay, people were making $2 an hour or whatever. Okay, so your products were bigger. As soon as because cost of living drives the inflation too. The cost of working. Now, if we keep going up for these minimum level jobs, what's going to happen? Prices go up, products go down. Plain and simple. Pretty soon, your 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola will only be a 10-ounce can of Coca-Cola because they can't afford to do the 12-ounce anymore.
Well, my candy bar is 1.5 ounces, and they used to be 3 and 4 ounces for a candy bar.
Absolutely. I get candy bars now, and I get stuff now. And here's another thing. A bag of Lay's chips that is 50% air is $5 fucking for some deep fried chips. Yeah. Deep fried potatoes are $5 a bag.
Dude, it's getting out of control.
At the restaurant, have your prices gone up, Guido?
Way up. We've had to raise our prices so many times that people are starting to say stuff, and most people understand, but it's like we're having shortages of things where we can't get things. We had to substitute certain things for this and that because we can't get it. Like oil. Here's the biggest thing. Before the pandemic, a 5-gallon jug to fill up the fryer with oil was $19 for that big jug. It's $43 now.
Jesus Christ.
And we use 6 a week. Okay.
Oh yeah, and if you don't change it, the city of Buffalo's gonna fucking shut you down.
Right.
They combine, they test that oil.
Sure they do.
Contaminations and shit. When they do your inspection to see if you're gonna get a Class A.
Right.
They test that oil. If you're not changing that oil like you're supposed to, you're fucked. So you're gonna pay that $43 fucking.
Absolutely. So what do? You went up, not double, you more than double the price.
Right.
And who's got to incur that? Unfortunately, the customer. That's like, well, people get upset about that, but this is how the country was built, on this economic platform, this economic structure. When the economy is doing good, everybody does good. The small business, the medium business, the big business.
That brings me back to Nuke the Moon, because what else we got better to do?
Right. Well, that would be a fine waste of money for the government.
Well,
it sounds like something Biden might be interested in. You ought to send him a letter. I was at a funeral. I was at a funeral yesterday. Well, I was at wake actually, and one of the guys said his brother, the guy who died, his brother was there, and he's smoking cigarettes and shit. He looks like dead man walking. He's about fucking one step on the platform and one in the grave. And he says to me, he said, "I ain't never gonna die. I'm the Grim Reaper." I said, "Really? Would you pay a visit to the White House?"
Yeah, right. He's a sham. He's just a ridiculous. You know what? It's gonna be funny is that, and I hope I'm around to see it. In 30, 40 years from now, he's going to be in the media and shit as a joke. They're going to be using him as a joke for now. They're all on his side now. But as soon as he's gone, the media is going to change and start talking shit about him.
Dude, when Donald Trump was just a simple millionaire, they loved him. Mm-hmm. He was in GQ. He was in Vogue. He was in all the Playboy. He was in all of the fucking liberal fucking bags. Then all of a sudden he says, I'm running. And guess what? I'm running as a Republican. Bam, out the fucking door he went.
Yeah.
See ya. They loved him. How many times did Jimmy Kimmel have him on his show? And then the whole presidency, he fucking raped him and raked him over the coals.
Because he abandoned the structure of what's supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be a public figure like that and go against the
What's
deep
that
state,
noise?
you know.
Yeah, an ice cream dude going by.
That's Mr. Softy. Hear it?
Yeah, I don't dig it. Can we get rid of that guy? Shoot into the moon already.
Yeah, that's Mr. Softy. We'll shut the window for a minute. He's loud.
Yeah, he is. He
Wow.
wants
Yeah,
to
I'd like
come
to
out.
take a paintball gun and blow his fucking brains out.
Well, he stops in front of our house because he knows that there's kids here, but there's nobody home right now. Dude, move.
Move your fucking van. So, well, the inflation has gotten so bad. Okay, well, so across the country, we've got evidence right here before us. You're in Buffalo, I'm in St. Louis, and you're in California, Los Angeles. What's your gas price, Guido?
Last I remember it was 460 something, 462.
Mine was I filled up with $4.29 today. Cost me $70.
Maybe it was 442. I don't think it was 60 yet. I think it was 442. Yeah.
430 now. And okay, in Los Angeles, how much is yours?
I haven't been down there for a while, but I believe it's like $1.50 more than what you're paying.
But diesel here is 6 something. It's
diesel
something.
Here is $5.40.
Yeah, it's over 6 here.
It's $5.40 here.
I think it might be 601 to be honest.
It's a little over $1 more a gallon for diesel.
Yeah.
$2,000 to fill a fucking semi.
In the 80s, it was cheaper because my dad had a diesel truck and it used to be cheap. He used to fill it up no problem, in the 80s. So where did diesel become more? I mean, diesel was always the cheaper fuel, I thought.
Well, if you think about it,
Well, listen, here's what happened. I bought a diesel Mercedes, and that's when the price of diesel went higher than regular. Anything I do, they're going to try to pop. So,
well, then you should have voted for Joe Biden, stupid ass.
Wait a minute. Then I got rid of that diesel bomber, and then the diesel went down again.
Well,
yeah.
And now it's up again. I still have a lot of diesel.
They knew Showcase was driving a diesel vehicle.
Yeah. Well, if that's real logic, then he should have voted for Joe Biden.
Yeah, then we would have had fucking Trump again, you lousy bastard. What's the matter with you?
Speaking of Trump, now that we're on that subject, I'll bring that up. My topic. I'm not going to say I've lost my faith with Trump, but I think he's starting to get on the little bit elderly side. So I'm really hoping that DeSantis runs for president.
I think so, and I think he will.
This guy's like wild in the streets, When you reach 35, you ought to be put in an incinerator, man.
No, I didn't say that. No, but let's look at the whole situation now. Trump's very strong. Okay, Trump and Biden are the same exact age. Okay. You look at Trump and you look at Biden, Trump 10,000 times, okay? But the problem with Trump is he's got too many haters, okay? And it will never unite this country again. DeSantis, on the other hand, he's kind of got people that are like, I kind of like this guy, people that definitely like him, and people that don't like him. But he's got that middle ground, where Trump didn't have the middle ground. It was either you liked Trump or you hated Trump.
I think that DeSantis can get the independent voters.
That's what I mean. Yeah, he's got that middle ground.
And I don't think Trump can anymore. I think he lost the independent voters.
Yeah.
And there's no way he could win. And they'll probably tell him that, and you know how defiant he is. And he'll hang on. He'll get through the fucking second primary. If he
runs and wins the primary, I'm all for him. I'm 100% backing him 100%. Like I said, don't get me wrong. If he runs, he's my guy.
But
he runs, and DeSantis runs.
If he wants the right guy for America in there, then he'll endorse DeSantis.
Well, here's the thing. If DeSantis is waiting on Trump to say he's running it out, because DeSantis knows if he runs in the primary, he'll take votes away from Trump. Okay.
Well, wouldn't it be just a beautiful thing if Trump ran with DeSantis as vice president and then DeSantis got the next presidency for the next 2 terms? Wouldn't that be a wonderful world we live in at the end of that?
The president never picks a good running mate that people like.
They don't want a good running mate.
Want somebody to kill them because they like that person better. They usually pick a doofus like Dan Quayle or Al Gore or fucking Joe Biden.
I think not this time.
Camel toe.
They're going to double up. They're going to double up, and then nobody's going to get rid of Trump. He's going to do the 4 years.
There's only been, when's the last time a vice president became the president because of a event? That would have been Kennedy.
You mean after?
No, actually, it was Agnew.
It was
Johnson.
No, but
Johnson did because what's his name got shot. I think
Johnson's the last one because
Ford
Gerald
got
Ford
in
was
there.
Speaker of the House.
What's his name? Yeah, Gerald Ford was Speaker of the House, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He wasn't the vice president. So the last vice president to become president under circumstances was Johnson.
Yeah, it was Johnson.
And in my opinion,
So
Johnson didn't do shit. He only took Kennedy's policies and moved him forward. He didn't do anything on his own.
There was no DeSantis. Now, if DeSantis gets in there, he's going to be the man to beat at in 28.
Right.
He's going to be the man to beat in 28.
He'll be the man to beat in 24 because there will be primaries in 24. Trump can't go without primaries.
Both DeSantis versus Trump, both of them said that they won't go against each other because it will take votes away from each other. Okay.
Well,
Trump runs, DeSantis won't run. I'm telling
you.
A
lot can happen between here and 2024, though.
Right, but the best thing for the country right now is only for one of them to run.
Yeah,
that's the best thing.
But we need both of them in office so that we get shit done fast.
I'm not saying that can't happen, but in the primaries, if we want to succeed, then only one of them could run in the primary because there's no other Republican unless Dan Bongino.
He's very respectable to Trump, and he would definitely let Trump want to win this and make him vice president, which would put him in office for fucking the next 4, 8, 12 years.
It won't happen though because they don't put people in that are better than them or on the same level as them. Did you ever hear of fucking Mike Pence before he became vice president?
No. They picked Mike Pence
because Biden took Kamala Harris, and she's
better
than Biden.
She's not. She's a disaster, dude.
Wow.
She's a disaster.
You live in the city she's a fucking senator for. In the state she's a senator for, and you say that she did a good job.
For her hates her. I mean, they hate her.
Anything would be better than Biden. Anything would be better than Biden's.
You live in California. That's where Kamala was the senator from. Do you feel she did a good job as senator?
She did a good job on him with their marijuana shit.
Okay.
She locked up an awful lot of people for marijuana.
She sure did.
A lot of fucking people.
Right. So how can you say she's better than Biden? Biden's just a puppet.
Anything's better than Biden. And I'll tell you what, he hired her, and he was her running mate. I mean, they fought in the fucking primary,
but
then he hired her.
Right, but that's not how it happened.
By the second primary, she was out.
Yeah,
she was done. Before North Carolina, she was done. She was done in Iowa, for Christ's sake.
Don't understand is Trump and DeSantis are the two most powerful Republicans in the United States right now. They can't run against each other because they cancel out votes.
They wouldn't be running against each other.
In the primary, they would be. You can only have one Republican run for president.
There's more than one Republican in the primary. There has to be.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. You know, I think we still ought to shoot a nuke at the moon.
Yeah.
I think
Why are you on that, man? We ought to. Let's see if it'll go, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I'd rather see him shoot it at that asteroid that's headed our way.
I had a fucking asteroid the other day, man. I had Mighty Taco, it's called. Man.
Oh, man. I had one of those nights the other night, dude. We had fucking kraut dogs.
Well, the only reason why I changed the subject is because
I mean, I was farting fucking. I was.
Choice.
They
They're gonna be. They're gonna have it all lined up and everything in 24, and they already got in mind who's going to be the president, next
No, they
president.
got they want to be, but that doesn't mean the person's gonna want to do it, dude. I mean, especially with Trump. Trump doesn't go by anybody's agenda but his own. So if he doesn't want to run, he's not running. And if they say to him, "We don't want you to run,"
anybody they want is going to run. If they want him in there, he's going to run because it's an easy job. It's a cakewalk.
What?
It's an easy job. You don't have to do nothing, and look what you get. You get everything, and you don't have to do shit. Look at Biden. He don't do shit, and he's got it all, man. His son is rich too. Let's do it. Do it.
I'm confused there. If you look at every president, especially the ones that were in there for 8 years, you look at them on day one, and then look at them in their last.
Like Obama?
It looks like they aged like 70 years.
Like Obama?
Yeah, because of the stress of that job. It's not a cakewalk. It's really not. Biden, yes, he's doing nothing. I agree with you. But
Obama looked like he was like 80 when he got out of it. He was
doing
pale.
shit
Yeah,
even John F. Kennedy. Look at Kennedy from year 1 to year 3, just 3 years.
His stress was intense.
Right.
His stress was intense, and
he took it seriously, like Obama didn't. See,
nobody has really. Trump took it seriously. I think Reagan took it seriously. Kennedy definitely took it seriously. But everybody in between them, we'll say from Trump, between Kennedy and Trump,
Carter,
Kennedy, Reagan, and Trump are the only 3 that gave a shit. The rest were in it.
Johnson, Nixon, nobody gives a shit. Nobody cared.
No,
all them motherfuckers.
They cared about their pocketbook.
That's right. They wanted the money and the prestige.
I don't think Jimmy Carter was in it for the money. I don't think Carter. He thought he was doing the right thing. He just picked the wrong people to run his fucking administration.
Yeah,
he fucked up.
Yeah, Jimmy Carter. I would put.
That's called leadership. That's called leadership, and he wasn't leader.
I'll tell you what. You take younger Biden was smarter than Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was not smart at all. He had zero, like worldwide, politics.
Oh,
he wasn't
a peanut farmer
for like Nixon was that great negotiator with other countries and his foreign relations. That's the word I'm looking for.
China.
Great. Yeah, Kennedy or Carter didn't have good foreign relations.
No. And then didn't know what was going on in the world.
Then when Reagan came in, he said, "The relations are this is what you're doing," and everybody in the world said, "Okay."
Yeah, he told Russia. He told Gorbachev. He said, "We win, you lose," and that's it.
Reagan single-handedly collapsed the Soviet Union because he had the banks shut the money off to them.
Yeah.
And when they didn't have enough money to run their country, they had no choice but to break it up and bring down the Berlin Wall.
Oh, not only that, it was the space race. The space race ruined them, and fucking Star Wars. Hate to say it, came out. It started as a joke. It started as a myth, and came to fucking bring the fucking Soviet Union to their knees because they knew there was no way to keep up. Financially,
they can't go into space anyway, so that's all a big joke, right?
We're not going there.
We're not going there. But it was, you got to admit, Guido, it was the space race.
Even if the thought of anything, like, same with the Cuban Missile Crisis. The Cuban Missile Crisis, everybody thought this was going to happen. Everybody got their bunkers and everything. But it didn't happen because it was propaganda, and a lot of things are propaganda, but we were superior always to Russia. But now here's the thing, okay? If we break down what's going on in the Ukraine right now, there's a lot of unanswered things. There's a lot of unanswered questions, Why now all of a sudden are they trying to get all these other countries in NATO all of a sudden, or the UN or whatever? Never before did they care, but now with Finland they want in there. And
well, he's got them running scared. He's got them running scared. The minute those fucking nuclear weapons, if Putin is going to strike Finland, if he's going to, let me finish my thought. If he's going to do it, he's got to do it now. If he's going to go after Finland, because there's going to be nukes there any day.
Okay, all right. Listen, if everybody joins NATO, wouldn't it be a perfect world?
No, we're going to be a one world, new world order.
It'll be a one world government, dude.
Yes. Like I've been saying since we started this show.
The World Health Organization is the new government, dude.
Yes.
The World Health Organization, and that's why they're hoarding the food. That's why they're hoarding food and gas and everything else. They're hoarding it. It's there. It didn't go any fucking where.
Everybody join NATO, there'd be no more wars. That's the point.
That's not true.
What are you talking about?
True. What happens with one of those nations like Turkey? Turkey right now is saying we don't want them in NATO. We're having trouble of our own. Turkey said, nope, we don't want them in. So what happens when one country leaves? What happens if Turkey were to leave and join Russia and give them that strait out of the Black Sea? We're fucked.
Freedom of choice.
Get rid of NATO. NATO is evil.
NATO is evil.
Evil. The UN
is evil. They're saying, oh, it's Putin's fault. It's Putin. No, Putin felt surrounded. He knew what was coming, and he said, no, I got to act, and I got to act now.
Yeah, I don't condone what he's doing. I don't condone what he's doing. Not at all. I mean,
no, but he's got to do something because Ukraine was next, actually. Right. Ukraine was going to join NATO, and then he just said, fuck, I'm surrounded.
Well, no, he told the world, if they join or even think about joining, I'm going to invade. And everybody's like, whatever. And he did what he said he was going to
do. That's right. He told the world, he said, I got no choice. I can't be surrounded by NATO. It's not going to happen.
Do you know the two biggest countries against this whole one world thing, like I've said, is China and Russia. And everybody's always saying China and Russia are evil and bad. And I don't know if they are because I've never been there, okay? Right, but presumably they are, and everybody's right.
I respect that.
You know, but why are those two countries so set against it, but almost the rest of the world wants to get together? I don't get it. I don't want to be one world. I don't want to.
I want my individuality.
Yes,
that's why the UK left the EU. Mm-hmm. Said, no, you're not controlling my finances. No, you guys do a lousy job of defense. You don't have a military worth the fuck. Why should I stay in?
What happens if we do become a one world nation? It doesn't mean we're going to live like we do here in America.
No, not worldwide.
Like we do in somewhere else.
We'll be living like they do in France or like in Italy or like England. We'll be living just like them with the high prices and the high fuel costs. They've always paid high fuel costs. What is it, like $5 a liter? $20, 20 euros for a liter of fucking gas? I mean, you do the math. When you do the math, it comes out to about the same thing.
And here's another thing. If you become a one world government, I guarantee you guns for people in the world is gone. You don't need guns anymore, okay?
No.
Now what happens if the leader of the world is a crazy fucking lunatic and does crazy lunatic things?
Well, no, that's going to be that. And if you believe any semblance of the Bible, which I know you don't showcase, and you don't believe in any of the fairy tales, but if it comes true that the Antichrist, this is where the Antichrist comes in. This is when the World Health Organization takes over fucking restrictions on people's lives.
Well, that's why I'm saying we ought to just nuke the moon and see what happens.
You know, do you know what was funny about the World Health Organization is that its leader, its president, whatever you call it, is not even a medical doctor.
No.
He's a scientist or something. And nothing to do with medical.
Yeah.
Well, let's, hey, this is a big bullshit story about the abortions going on with the Roe versus Wade, and they want to reverse that and all that. And I don't think they should.
They're going to.
I don't think they should be able to do that.
Why not? They passed it in the first place.
Right. Here's the thing. It's got to be constitutionally the right decision, okay? And I don't give a shit what people think. The Constitution was drafted upon God being part of the Constitution, okay? And that doesn't work with that. And legally, they have to do what the Constitution says. Now, that's not a freedom of choice to me. I don't care what people think, okay? Now these crazy lunatics are saying that if you masturbate, you're killing babies, okay? Well, I want to tell you that I've killed millions then.
I've killed
But
billions. I'm ahead of you, Guido. I've killed billions.
right.
You know,
I'm ahead of you. I've killed trillions.
you know, they say the more you ejaculate, the more sperm, the higher your sperm count is.
Now,
So
I'm not totally against the abortion thing, okay? But there's got to be some kind of regulation on it, okay? When it becomes murder, okay?
Yeah, I think there's a time limit they should put on it for
Well, we
sure.
discussed this before, and you know, you say 12 weeks. I say 15 weeks is about right.
Yeah.
That way,
I say
you know,
12. I say 12.
If you ask me
you've been
personally,
screwing around, if you've been
zero.
screwing around, then you should go get checked every week and see if you're fucking pregnant. And if you don't want the motherfucker, you better make a decision pretty quick. You got 12 fucking weeks.
Well, here's another thing for you, okay? If the man ejaculates inside of you, you can go to the pharmacy the very next day and buy the morning after pill. No.
Yeah, that's true. But
No
some
fucking-
way you can't take that.
there's so many different ways to prevent
There is.
pregnancy.
Right.
And not only that, they talk about, well, what about the rape victims? What about the incest victims? Well, okay, when they find out that there's rape, the first thing they do is give them the morning after pill. That's the first thing they fucking do. 98% to, I'm going to say 100% of women who are raped and go to the hospital after they're raped, that they don't get pregnant.
Like I said, though, some women can't take that. You got to interrupt me, don't you? Some women can't take that. They'll bleed to death if they take that pill. Some women can't take it. So what do you do there?
Then you have they can do it within a couple weeks. Then it doesn't necessitate and make a baby. They can do it right away. There's the problem is that women don't go and if they get raped. If people don't get, when people get raped, which is a horrible thing, okay, I don't want to make light of that. They need to go right away to the hospital, right away, as soon as they can, because then they can do things.
Of terminating that pregnancy if it happens. They have ways of terminating it, and the first words out of their mouth is, "Have you been ovulating?" And if they say yes, then they fucking go right to work to figure out the best path to end the pregnancy immediately. Not only that, the thing is,
well, you got 12 weeks. What's the matter with that?
If a girl is pregnant because her daddy fucked her and got her knocked up, okay, she needs to fucking take responsibility as well.
Well,
and go get it.
Yeah, I see. Okay, that's where I have a problem with the whole thing, because I totally believe in zero abortion. I do. But then when people bring that up, that disgusts me so much that I would feel that would be a valid excuse. Like if you're a 12-year-old girl and your dad knocks you up, there shouldn't be any law against that. Okay, but it's like the cases have to be real. Okay, we can't use it as birth control.
Right.
Okay, we can't. Right. You know, they say my body, my choice, but then they're the same people that preach get the vaccine or you'll die.
Yeah. Or die.
Right.
Or get the vaccine and don't work.
Right.
Get the vaccine and don't be a part of our public society.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
So it's only my body when it benefits you, I believe. But you know, that person. But the whole thing of it is we're trying to get everything away from of the Bible, okay? And I know a lot of people don't believe in the Bible. I'm not saying I believe in the Bible. I most likely don't believe in most of it, but I believe in a higher power and a higher being and whatever. And we were made the way we were made for a reason. We were made to reproduce, okay? So
yeah, but we were also made to kill.
Well, no, I don't know if we were made to kill.
It's in our fucking DNA to fucking kill. We've been killing each other since cavemen. We've been killing. It's in our blood. It's in our DNA to kill.
Sure. And people will always kill. You're right. People will always kill. There'll never
Like
be a
this guy
time.
in Buffalo. This guy in Buffalo. It's in his DNA. It's
Right.
like black on black crime. It's in their DNA to reduce the population. Only the fittest survive.
But I don't know if it's in the DNA or it's a learned experience because you know there's some validity to you know movies and music and video games having you know these messages, and I never
And
thought about
the media is just as guilty.
oh the media is the
It's
most
so much in our DNA, it's almost instinctive to kill.
the media is, but here's the thing too, even when I was in the military, the whole thing of it was is they taught you how to kill and they inbred that in your mind, and then you get discharged and you're supposed to forget about that.
Yeah.
And you can always tell because humans are predators. Humans have eyes that focus with stereo. We don't have eyes on the sides of our heads. We have eyes like this, can focus and hunt. That's what humans do.
It's survival of the fittest.
Survival of the fittest. It's in our blood, it's in our DNA, and it's in our human makeup to kill.
It's in our instinct
to kill. Now, to kill each other, not a lot of animals kill.
Every species on this planet to
not
kill.
necessarily. No, not necessarily.
I mean, not necessarily. What animal? Okay, except for the berry-eating, grass-eating animals, but the rest of the animals, if you put a cow in the jungle, the fucking tiger is going to eat the shit out of it.
Right.
You know,
but the cow ain't gonna eat the lion.
No. I said there's.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It's survival.
But
they
that
have
cow,
to kill that
cow
animal to survive.
Now think about it.
But that lion has eyes in front of his head, whereas that cow has one on each side of his head. That means he's not a predator. But the ones, everything with eyes right there, like a hawk, his eyes are right there. They're not on the sides like a canary, you know. And they're not like a pigeon. You know, they got eyes right here. They don't have one eye over here can look at you, and this one goes like this. That's what predators are. They have eyes.
What about a fly?
Fly's got a million eyes.
Yeah.
Help me, Kathil, over here on the computer. Help me.
Well, most flies are blood-sucking motherfuckers.
Yeah, I guess that could be predatory behavior.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, they eat flesh. They eat flesh. They shit all over it, and they.
Well, do flies eat blood or no? Mosquitoes eat blood.
Well, you got the earthworm. The earthworm only eats dirt, and then he shits. That's all he does. He eats dirt and shits, and that's all he does.
A shark? A shark has eyes on each side instead of in the front. Took a minute to think about that, Guido.
I could smell the smoke from over here.
Could you? A shark has it on the side of the head. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No. A shark has eyes like this.
No, he don't.
You better check it out.
No, I don't think so.
All right, I got to pop the
Wait a minute. Now that we're on that, dolphins got eyes in the front.
Yeah, dolphins have eyes to the front.
Yeah.
Bears have eyes in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the bears do. They're predators.
Not the Chicago Bears, though.
No, and the elephant's got them on the side.
Yeah,
they're not seeing in stereo, as he would say, as Showcase would say.
And a cross-eyed serial killer would have them on the side too.
Yeah. Well, he'd be looking in 3 different directions. So the guy was a lunatic who shot up all those African Americans.
Yeah, well, it's stupid to shoot anybody, and it's stupid to make it a racist statement or a hate statement or whatever. If you're gonna just kill some people, kill some people. Don't be a fucking fucktar. You know, I mean, don't kill.
He videotaped. He was fucking putting it live on Facebook.
Look, there's a shark's eyes looking right at you.
I can only see one.
That's on the side of his face.
That's right on the side of his face, bro.
That's on the side of his face. That ain't in front. That ain't in front. Barracuda. Pull up a barracuda.
Here, this is right at you. His
Yeah,
eyes.
no, see, there's one on either side of his head.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's the way it looks
No.
to me.
No, and even
Now,
a
on
hammerhead.
top of his snout. If they were straight
a
ahead, it'd be on top
hammerhead.
of his snout.
A hammerhead shark has his eyes on both hammers, and his eyes are on the hammers, and they looking at you, dude. They're not like that. That shark's eyes is a predator. He's a predator.
now see, I told you, I knew this. Now, yesterday the shoot in Buffalo happened, right? Now, I tell my wife that they probably planned something for gun control. Just now, I got a text that said, Houston flea market shooting leaves 2 people dead and at least 3 others injured. See, it always happens. Now there's going to be another one. I'm telling you.
There'll be 3.
Yeah.
There'll be 3. It's all planned by the anti-weapon, the anti-Second Amendment people. This is all set up. These are sacrificial lambs. And you'll notice you never hear from these shooters anymore.
Nope.
Once it's over, first week or 2, it's in the news cycle, and then you never hear from them fuckers again.
Yep.
It's a setup. They're trying to get rid of all guns.
Why? So the New World Order could come in quicker.
And then they call it racist and they call it a terrorist attack, but it's all the same fucking thing. It's a fucking ruse. It's a ruse. It's a big fucking joke.
And unfortunately, people really lose their lives, which is the saddest part.
Yeah, that's sad. You know, remember the guy that went into the the Batman movie?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Killed all those people and shot up all the people?
Yep.
What did Matthew McConaughey say?
Where'd he go?
What did Matthew McConaughey say? He said, it's a floozy. It's not real. It's a phantom. It's a foobar. It's fake.
It's fake.
Was he talking about the moon landing?
Those people actually died, though. But it wasn't in the name of racism. It wasn't in the name of hatred. It was in the name of, see, we need to get rid of these fucking guns. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, that ain't going to get rid of the guns. Those guys are not hunters, the ones that go out and kill people like that. These guys ain't, gamers.
Yeah, but that's not what people think that
they're martyrs.
Right. And I'll tell you right now, if I wanted to go kill people, I wouldn't go buy my gun at Walmart. Okay? I'd go somewhere and buy it where it couldn't be traced. So hopefully I could get away. Okay? But that's...
Anybody does this shit and think they're going to get away with it, Guido.
Right. If you're a registered gun owner and you use a registered gun, they're going to link it back to you. Okay?
Right.
So you use an unregistered gun.
Right.
Because you're a criminal.
Right.
Okay, so it's not about that.
Well, the smart criminals are the guys that do the bank robberies. They do these are the smart guys that get their guns in an undisclosed place. These guys that come in and do these random shootings, these guys are given the guns by the gun activists, by the anti-gun activists, and say, okay, now you're the martyr. And when you get busted, or they are just like suicide bombers. He tried to commit suicide, but guess why he didn't? He was out of ammo. I guarantee he fucking pulled the fucking trigger.
And another thing about them too is you're right, they disappear. We kept up with Ted Bundy his whole life. We kept up with Edward Kemper his whole life. John Wayne Gacy his whole life.
Yeah, the mass murderers. We know what fucking Manson. Manson we followed him all his life in prison.
Now they're disappeared. Gone.
Yeah, just gone.
No,
nothing happened.
Nothing.
Just gone. This guy that did this shit in Buffalo, he'll be a fucking fart in the wind.
Yep.
He'll be a fart in the wind in 6 weeks.
The reason is because they'll use the victims, the poor victims, for advocacy reasons.
Say, these poor people should have never died. We got to get rid of the guns.
Wasn't there just a shooting on a subway or something? And where was it?
Where'd he go? Where is he?
Yeah.
He's not in the news anymore. Nobody talks about him.
Nope.
Yeah.
Because it's not about the act. It's about the aftermath and what you could use it for.
It's about the gun. The gun committed these crimes. The evil gun did this.
And the thing of it is that's the first step is to get rid of the guns. You get rid of the guns. There's no resistance when the UN or the NATO military comes to your
smart
town.
People think that if there wasn't any guns, then he wouldn't have had a gun.
No, but that's wrong. He would have a gun because they're never going to get rid of guns. Ever. Ever. They're never going to get rid of guns. They're going to get it to the point where the only people who are going to have guns are going to be the criminals and the police and the military. And that's exactly the way they fucking want it.
A gun maker can make a gun, okay? Just because they stop production doesn't mean that gun maker can't make illegal guns, you know? So it's never going to stop. Never.
They're never going to get rid of all the guns, but that's not their intent. If we can just get rid of a majority of the guns, if we can stop selling ammunition or make ammunition so expensive that you can't afford it.
$5,000 a bullet.
They do it in simple increments, man. They do it like your gasoline. They do it in increments. It goes up, and then it comes down. Goes up, it goes up in increments, and it's just like a how do you put it? It's like a time-released tax bill.
Yeah.
Right. See, what happens is they go up, 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 then they come down a little. Then they go up, 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 and then they come down a little.
And they only come down a little.
You're paying a whole lot.
And they only come down a little so they can say, look, we saved you some money.
Yeah, that's right. So they can look good. Right. So they can look good. See, we know how it works. We're not all stupid out there. Jeez Louise.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Right? I'm telling you.
Then why not just shoot the nukes at the moon? Because it'd be better than shooting it at ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we know the name of today's show.
I don't know.
Shooting nukes at the moon.
Pull that smoke wagon.
I can't see it. That one.
This one?
Yeah. Okay. I see you're on the air. Look.
Hey, what's up, sweetie?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. She's beautiful, dude. Is that your wife?
No, it's my daughter.
Oh, it's your daughter. She look like your wife?
Not really. No.
She's a beautiful girl. You should be proud.
That's my 21-year-old.
21?
Yeah.
Connie, I want a divorce. All right.
Then I got a 26-year-old daughter and a 30-year-old.
In some countries, that's, you hook up your 21-year-old daughter with your best friend and shit.
Yeah.
All right. Let's change subject then. Let's change to the Dodgers ain't doing too good this year so far.
Because they suck.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed.
And baseball sucks.
For a little while.
It sucks. I'm bored with it. I'm watching hockey. The only reason why I'm hockey is because the fucking, baseball is so boring. It's like watching grass grow. The Kings, the new golf.
The Kings got beat out last night. They're done. The Kings are out.
The average score, Guido, tell me if I'm wrong. If the average score for a baseball game was like 15-12 or 17-14 or something like that, would you be more interested in watching it?
Oh, hell yeah. Because it was like our softball team for the bar was like that.
Yeah.
And it was excited, and we had this one guy at our softball team for the bar.
That brings me to another question.
But thank you for
wait. Let him finish.
And then he used to play baseball for the University of Syracuse. And he was at our bar league. And he hit this fucking ball, pop fly, center field. And I'm like, hey, heads up. This ball came down on this dude's head, bounced up about 10 feet in the air. And when we went over there, he had a fucking knot coming out of his head like this, man.
Oh
I had to empty the fucking ice bucket and put it on him and shit. It was crazy, but he hit that ball hard.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that brings me to the next question. Why and who told him that that left field was left field and right field was right field. It looks like to me, most people see the field like left field is right field and right field is left field because they're all looking from the outside. There's only one guy looking from the inside out, and he's calling that left field over there and right. And that way, a right-hander would be hitting it into right field, and then a left-hander would be hitting it into left field. See, that, I'm just saying, you ever thought of it that way?
No. It's from home plate.
That's right.
So left field is left field, and right field is right field.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think right field is left field and left field is right field.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah. Anyways, that was a boring waste of time right there.
Yeah, waste of time.
Yeah.
Oh
I can't wait though for this football season if we're talking about sports because that's the better thing, and I'm so glad that the first NFL game this year.
It's so far off. It's so far away.
It's not that far away.
Yeah, it's gone. It's like not even here, man. It's September.
They
we're
just
talking.
had the draft. They just had the draft. Big shit.
It's May. The fucking preseason starts in August.
Yeah,
June, July.
June and July. We got 2 months, and we're in fucking break.
It's like so far away.
First preseason game is what? August 30th or something?
Yeah, but you've got to let them play a few games before you can make your decisions on who you like. And
what do you mean who I like? The fucking best team in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills. Who the fuck else is going to win?
Yeah, and me. The best team in the NFL currently, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, odds this year.
Tariq Hill went to the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Tariq Hill went to the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, yeah. He did. I don't care.
Oh, well, you sooner or later, you had to know one of them guys was going to go.
Well, he wasn't going to go until they said, we're not paying you what you want. And he's like, see you later.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. It's a money league right now. Go where you can get the money. Fuck.
If you're worth it, go get it.
Yeah. He's already got a Super Bowl ring with them. He doesn't need to prove anything. Go for the money.
He's already been the number one receiver for years.
I respect baseball players because they play about every goddamn night. They got a regular job. That job ain't easy.
You couldn't play fucking football every night. And you couldn't. You couldn't play football every night.
No, you couldn't. But
it's physically impossible.
I don't think that Showcase has ever gone to a real live football game.
I don't think so. Or seen a practice or seen them work out because those guys
fast and big these fucking guys are. It's one of the hardest fucking games in the world.
Cut and trim. And
I've been there.
Well, a baseball player, Roger Clemens, was a fat fuck and still made millions.
Oh, Danny McLean was huge. The motherfucker, he hadn't seen his cock in 10 years. That's how big that fucker was.
You just stand there for most of the time. Unless you're the pitcher or the hitter, you fucking stand there for 90% of the game.
No wonder kids pissing their pass out.
It's just like, oh, I'm out here in left field. Oh, shit.
Oh, so you guys think we ought to make baseball more exciting, more runs and
it's
shit?
Not, it's not.
They ought to take it down to. I think they ought to take it down to 7 players.
Oh,
they have.
There's an interesting. That's interesting concept.
How many are there now?
No center fielder. There's 9. No center fielder, and no shortstop.
That would be the likely 2 to go. Yeah.
And no shortstop.
That would make more runs for sure because
you get base hit after base hit. Little C&I grounders are going out into left field and shit. And
the shortstop is center field.
Bigger gaps in the outfield.
Yeah, bigger gaps.
Shortstop.
Yeah.
Without the shortstop, the game would definitely change a lot.
Oh yeah.
Even if you kept the center fielder in, the shortstop.
Next year, things may get a little bit more exciting because they're going to outlaw the shift.
Yeah.
You won't be able to shift next year. You have to stay at your position next year. You can't bring everybody over to one side of the fucking field anymore.
Really?
Yeah, next year.
Well,
when they get rid of that, you're going to see a lot more hits.
I still think it's stupid that certain parts or certain leagues teams couldn't fucking have a designated hitter.
Yeah, well, the National League now has designated hitters.
It
But it's
doesn't
still
make
not
sense.
making a difference though, Guido, because they
Right.
still have those fucking 4 players, and they got 4 of them on the right field side for a right-handed pitcher, a left-handed hitter, and then they
And can
switch
we,
over to the other side, and there's no gap. There's no way to get a ball
yeah,
out.
Right,
can we get a green and red light out in center field for the umpire to read electronic pitches and calls, and go, okay, it's a red light, ball, green light, strike, just that fast.
No, it's got to be done with the human eye.
Now,
They
well,
fucking up.
there's AAA teams right now that are experimenting with that. They're experimenting with it to see if it works.
But
So-
technology can be one thing. People can be two. People can be bribed, but technology can be overridden and be used evil ways too, where they can change the rhythm of things or do whatever and make it a strike when
Yeah,
it's
but do they really do they do that in football? They don't do it in football with the replay.
What do you mean?
They don't rig the replays to where
No, but if you play, it's still somebody's eye reviewing it. It's not a computer saying,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, they made that touchdown." It's somebody physically watching it and deciding if they made that touchdown or not.
right.
The human element still should be left there because it's a human game.
Yeah,
Right,
but they
right.
can't converse. They can't converse over over a strike and a ball. They can't converse with umpires and go, what it look like? What it look? I mean, the swing, that half swing where and then they look down third base and see if he swung all the way through. And they ask him, hey, did he, he goes like this. No, he didn't swing, or yeah, he swung, something like
Right.
that.
So it's a human eyes all over.
Nine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be human. There's going to be errors. There's going to be mistakes, and that's something we've been living with since before fucking Babe Ruth.
And you try to fix it, and you try to, if
Well, a
something
lot of
happens,
things have changed since Babe Ruth. A lot of things have changed since Babe
but
Ruth.
not really. In baseball, the same fundamentals are the same as when Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
If Babe Ruth transformed through a time machine from then to now, he could jump in a game and play like he never left.
Well,
Yeah. Or
I mean-
vice versa. You go
Right.
back in time and say Mookie Betts got transported back to 1929 and he played up again. Well, of course, he was black, so he probably wouldn't be able to play. That's a bad example. Unfortunately, they were segregated.
Goes back.
Yeah, they didn't play black folks back in
all
1929.
right, Justin Turner, or
Yeah.
Bellinger.
Bellinger, or if you took Hershiser, or you took all those big players, the white players, back in the day, they could play with them guys.
But there was a time, if you do your like some research on it, because I did, in the NFL, in the early years, they did allow black players until a certain time, and then they stopped letting it happen until later on. So at one point, it's like, if you look at world history, our racism comes and goes in
To suit the need of a certain group of people.
right.
It's to suit a certain need. We changed our policies in this country. Changed like I change my underwear every fucking day. Every fucking day.
It aggravates me too. It's with ethnicity and everything. We talk about athletes, white athletes, athletes of color, whatever. But Jim Thorpe, who was a Native American, is probably one of the greatest athletes ever. And we don't talk about that enough. In not us, but in the world.
Who played Jim Thorpe in the Jim Thorpe story in the movie?
Oh, I don't even remember that.
I know.
Who was it?
Burt Lancaster.
Burt Lancaster. Nailed it. Good for you.
Which is kind of weird because Burt Lancaster don't look like a native at all.
Now he had one hell of a tan, and he had an advantage. The movie was in black and white.
That's true too.
So
But-
he had the advantage.
Yeah, but Jim
He
Thorpe
looked
was
dark.
was an NFL star, a gold medalist in the decathlon, a whole bunch of things. It's like nobody else could do anything, and they said he never even practiced or anything. He'd just show up and play, and it was an anomaly. But we should talk about everybody. We should stop basing things on just the color.
He lost all his his trophies and ribbons because he played professional when he went to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And they
Baseball,
fucked him
yeah.
on that.
But I
And,
still think he got them. In my opinion, they're his.
Well, I think you can do that now. They've changed the law since then. So they may have given it back. They may have given him back.
They
Those.
have, because as soon as I think they made a mistake by changing that law, though, because now in basketball, it's hard to beat America in basketball because they got pros in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Like when they first allowed it, I remember it was Michael Jordan and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley,
that team,
and they just fucking beat the shit out of everybody. Like,
there wasn't a team that could compete.
Right.
There was no team that could compete worldwide. And so I think it's kind of ridiculous. It's like playing a video game that you've been playing for 10 years and you know exactly how to win that game.
Right.
It's like when my son plays hockey on his video game and he scores like 12 goals. Well, that's not realistic. You're not going to score 12 goals on a good goalie, you fucker.
Right.
You know.
But on the other hand, when they did it with hockey, it made it more competitive. Okay, because there wasn't as many American pros as there is Canadians and Europeans and Russians. Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
They allowed the hockey players to be pro. That made it more competitive, I think. But not basketball.
And look what the miracle. What was it? The miracle on ice.
Yeah, the 80 Olympics.
They beat the Russians. 80% of those players went on to play professional hockey afterwards.
Correct.
Yeah, afterwards. Most of those players went and played hockey.
We had one in Buffalo, Craig Ramsey and Mike Ramsey. We had.
Yeah. So it happens.
I remember that game. And I was young, but I remember Al Michaels' voice.
Well,
just remember it.
When I'm standing in center field, and I'm waiting for the ball, and I look over to my right, I see right field. If I look to my left, I see left field.
And that segment was brought to you by Alzheimer's.
He ain't gonna let it go, Guido. He's not just not, it's like nuking Mars. It's not gonna let it go. He's just gonna hang on to it. That's the first sign of Alzheimer's. Yes, it is. So anyway.
Well, there was something. Nuke the Moon.
There was something else. Let's see. We've talked about abortion. We've talked about the shooter in Buffalo and the shooters nationwide. And what else? What did we start the show with?
We start the show with Nuke the Moon.
Oh gosh,
which will not be the name of the show.
Nuke the Moon. Yeah.
Abortion. We talked about abortion. We talked about Nuke the Moon stands out. So it don't.
Talked about our inept presidents. We talked about Trump and DeSantis.
A little bit. Yeah, we talked about that, and not too much COVID, and we did.
No, we're not talking COVID. We're not going to talk about COVID. Fuck COVID. It's dead. It's over. It's gone.
That's right.
Well,
so
I can't say that either.
We talked about the shortage and the baby foods and the abortions and the baseball. We clicked on baseball pretty good though tonight.
Now, that's some boring ass shit there. I'd rather talk about painting my living room.
Well, changing the rules and everything, and to get more scores, you guys, that comes up. That
they should be able to tackle the runner.
Yeah, or tackle the runner, or the runner can cause a fumble and hit the fucking guy at first base and nail his ass, knock his ass, and they'd have to wear pads and a helmet on the field.
Right.
Yeah, for baseball.
Yeah. And they play every Saturday.
Baseball. Once a week. That's it. Baseball.
And drop teams down from 48 to 16.
But you got to use lacrosse sticks.
Give them all, make 16 teams now, and they can only play once a week.
Yeah, you got to use lacrosse sticks.
Yeah, you got to use lacrosse sticks, and that's it.
And you can check somebody.
Sword fight. and
And
center
a broomstick for a bat.
Sword fight in center field.
sword fight at center field. I see.
And
Remember,
each foul
remember
pole,
bottle cap
each
baseball?
at each foul pole, there's a chained lion at each foul pole. So
Yeah.
if you hit the ball down the line and you got to go get it, you got to fight off the fucking lion.
Right.
Hey, free ride. Remember bottle cap baseball?
Well, bottle caps,
What the
yeah,
hell's that?
do that all the time. Well, they don't make them like they used to. Bottle caps are, that's from Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and they don't make them
Beer
like it
cap.
used to.
Beers. Lots of beers.
A lot of beers are twist off now, so you can't. They're not the same like they used to be.
Yeah.
There is still some that you got to use the opener on, and those are the ones that are the better caps to do anything with. Because I did when we were, I don't know, my early 20s, a little mural on our apartment wall with bottle caps, like different colors, and it was not big. It was like this big, but it was cool. I was stoned and I had nothing else to do. I was poor, so
Yeah, those bottle caps, you can shoot them. I remember we used to shoot them, and you get them. Corona has the real bottle caps.
They have a machine that you could use, a shooter machine now, a little gun that you could blow the bottle caps in.
See, now that's cool. We'd have to get one of them when we were younger.
And then you're only swinging with like a broomstick.
Yeah.
You're hitting it with a broomstick.
Yeah, and you got to use a cue ball.
Use a
And
cue
you
ball.
don't run around the bases or nothing. You just gotta hit the fucking cap and send it somewhere, and it.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Use an ivory ball.
Right.
Use the size of a baseball.
Right.
Laces on it, but it's hard as a fucking rock.
Yeah.
It's hard
And
as fuck.
think of it as baseball. When you're a kid, it's a fun game to play. It is. It's amazing. I love it. But when you watch it, it's like, is this over yet? It's like, oh my God. You'll be like this on the chair. Oh shit. What'd you do today? I watched the game. No, you fucking took a nap.
You took a nap.
You did not watch the game.
Especially if you're at home.
Right.
Especially if you're at home. If you're at home, you're going to fucking nod out. I got to change the channel. I can't sit and watch the Cardinals fucking play the way they play now. They're so poor. Their hitting sucks.
It's the one.
We talked about the war too. We talked about the war and the shit going on and the baby formula shortages and what else did we talk about? A lot of shit, dude.
Why are we reviewing about what we talked about?
We taled about NATO.
Yeah.
Top so we've been going almost an hour and 15. What's that?
I didn't say nothing. I said it's probably time to end the show.
It probably is, and I agree with you. We've talked about with everything we got to talk about. So let's just are we ready to say goodbye?
Whenever you're ready, man.
I'm ready, man. Hey, it's been great. Remember to subscribe down below if you listen to the entire show and the baseball talk didn't bore the piss out of you. Just subscribe down below and make sure you tell a friend about us here and listen to kgfrocks.com for your best rock and roll on the net. All right. So anyways, without further ado, we're out of here. See you later. Bye-bye.